Hey everybody, it's Grant, and today we have a special guest, my very good friend Jack Selby, and let's play a game. Let's see if we can guess where Jack is. Let's see, is he behind the curtain?
Hey, sorry I'm late. It's good to see you.
You as well, sir. Always a pleasure having you on the channel.
Yeah.
Very exciting. So today we're going to be going over if college is a scam.
Ooh, one of my favorite subjects. All right.
The last time I had you on the channel, we actually got into you working for Graham full time and leaving college, dropping out. Well, welcome to the successful dropout of college club, right? It's bigger than you think.
Successful?
Yeah.
When do we deem what is successful?
I mean, you are doing some great things, sir.
Thank you.
So my first question for you, what is now that you are out of college, your overall opinion?
So I would say since the beginning, like first when I started working with Graham, I was totally like pro college. I think college is really important for everyone. And I was kind of on the side of like, you can go and you can study something that isn't very marketable and won't teach you anything very important, but at least you going to college, taking classes, and being able to like put your nose to a book and read and study and all of that, that is something important to be able to do. You know, you have to be like diligent, you have to be hardworking, you have to have good priorities, good time management skills if you want to do well in college. So I think that's all, that's all gravy. That hasn't really changed. But I have kind of started to realize that obviously like student loans are way worse than what colleges make them out to be. Like they are really, really, really heavy and very burdensome. And also like colleges do a lot of price gouging like on their students, and colleges also provide a false sense of security.
Sure.
By saying that if you go to college, you're going to be able to get a great job out of college. And that job will pay for the degree, like your tuition, it's no big deal. You got to go to college. That is the next like reasonable step after high school, which I slowly have been phasing out of that idea. I think that's pretty false and a little corrupt.
So my take on college, for one, I do not think you need it to be successful. I 100% agree that they give you a false sense of security, just like you said, to get a good job. The paper's not going to get you the job. Now, if you go to college for a teaching degree, if you go to college for a nursing degree, something that is specific to that degree, an engineer, and of course any other higher learning, a doctor or a lawyer, doesn't mean you're going to be successful, but it does give you a really good shot, and that is something that we absolutely need.
I also think though that when you are like in the ages going into college, 16, 17, 18, you don't really know what to do with your life. Like a lot of people really don't. And we've kind of made it out that like college is just like the next step. 100%. You don't know what you're going to do with the rest of your life. Like go to college, figure it out. But I feel like you should probably figure it out maybe a little bit before college, because you don't want to go to college, spend a bunch of like money on tuition,
swapping majors,
all
left
of that
and right.
stuff. Yeah, swapping majors, taking 7 years to get a degree in like underwater basket weaving. Like it's just, you're going to spend so much money and you're not going to get anything out of it. You should be getting more out of college than what college gets out of you. And I think right now, college is getting way more out of their students than what the students are getting out of college.
So expensive. So what are your thoughts on someone that spends $50,000, $30,000 to $50,000? Because college is expensive, and ends up with one of those, which we are not hating on you in any way, shape, or form. We're not trying to give you a hard time, but someone that ends up with a general studies degree that has a hard time finding a job to suit that degree. I see it all the time.
It's honestly like, I feel for them. I feel for them, and I hope that they studied whatever they did because they were interested in it and they were passionate about it and they got what they were looking for. If they were doing that in order to get a job based off that degree, like I think that's fine, but I also think that like I really want to say this being as sensitive as possible, because I have been at points in my life where I've been so confused and just been like what do I do, and I try to cling on to anything, and I've been like desperate. So I'm not saying that's where they're coming, like that's the situation that they're in, but I feel for them, and I think that they were a victim of the system. Like that sounds like so cliche, like the system or whatever, but I think that they were a victim of the system, most definitely. Yeah, being like perpetually told that you're going to be able to get a great job out of college with this degree, and you take on $50,000 of debt, which is like I mean, I can't even go into detail of
Life-
how much money
life
that is.
crippling.
That literally will hold you down for 30 years easily. I mean, you could go your entire life with $50,000 in student loan debt and not have that paid off, like literally ever in your entire life. It's crazy what they do to you. It's unbelievable. And not only that, but like applying for loans, like you have to like factor that into like a debt to income ratio. It's like, yeah, it weighs you down. It's really, really sad.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. We 100% feel for them. It brings me to my next question. Aside from, because I still see value in doctors, lawyers, nurses, teachers, all those specific degrees, but I also see the value in plumbers. I also see the value in technicians. Some of the technicians that work for us make $170,000, $180,000 a year, turning wrenches, never having to deal with the public. You don't have to sell cars to make money. You have to be the big real estate broker to make money. You could do a trade. So my question to you, with also the trade included, I didn't think about that until now, but aside from those specific degrees, with all of the available knowledge, especially from YouTube channels like yours and Graham's, do you not think someone can get an education for free online and learn about as much as they would learn, if not more, than in a college setting?
Yes, I think that they could easily learn more, left to their own devices. I don't think that they need guidance, criteria, curriculum to hit certain notes. I think that if you discover that on yourself, you'll learn way more if you work on it yourself than reading, I don't know, page 11 through 35. It's like,
for sure, yeah. It give me PTSD over here about homework assignments.
oh my gosh.
But yeah, I will say you made an amazing point. I never thought about that earlier when you said that it does give them structure. It's kind of where I've seen it as far as like I appreciate that someone did that. Mm-hmm. Same thing like when I hire somebody, I want somebody that played sports or was involved in clubs or something that they had to put time and effort into. And really and truly, you are right earlier when you said that it does give them some focus, because not everybody has focus. But if you have self-focus, 100% think that I believe in this saying that's from Joe Verdi. I think I've said it here on the channel before, but if you spend 1 hour a day learning from their channels, I'll even say mine, because I try to put a lot of effort into this content, but learning from my channel, in 3 years, you will be a master in that craft, just because you put in the 1 hour a day, and that'll be a master's in real estate, a master's in personal finance, a master's in banking, and that's huge. And you won't not have $40,000 in debt. You'll have watched a few ads, but that's about it.
I will say, with 100% confidence, if anything, like this is probably not great of me to say this, but everything that I learned,
juicy stuff.
Everything that I learned in statistics, in macroeconomics, microeconomics, in like multivariable calculus, everything that I've learned, guess what? I've forgotten it. I have no idea. You give me like anything, I will not be able to solve it. You give me like a math equation from like 5th grade, I'll be able to solve it. I'm still decent at math. But if you want me to solve integrals and stuff like that, like complex multivariable integrals, no way. No idea. If you're going to ask me questions about like solving like word problems and econ theory, no, I can't do it. So where did that get me aside from like having $10,000 less than I have now and a year's worth of my time?
I 100% agree with that. I would say this. Closing point to this. College is something that you study for the test to get the piece of paper. But watching successful people on YouTube will actually get you a degree in life. I think that would be a good one. So instead of getting a piece of paper, they need to teach more financial education. They need to teach how to balance a checkbook. They need to teach how to build your credit in school, because that's where they're forced to go. You are forced to go to school. And I truly feel that they should do more of that, because they still don't even have that in college. They haven't caught up with the times.
And I think strict curriculums are just like so archaic too. Like the idea that everyone has to hit these curriculums, you have to know you have to be above this surface level of knowledge about everything, whether it be English, like biology, chemistry. I just think that's so lame. Like I think that after maybe like 7th, 8th grade, you should give the kid more freedom and let them pursue something that maybe they're a little bit more interested in. And then by the 4 years later, by the time they're ready for college, they're actually probably really good at the thing that they really like studying, because they have freedom and they get to spend their time
Passionate
learning about
about it,
something
too.
that they're passionate about. Yeah, one thing I love about passion is I always say, if you want to be happy, find a job that you're passionate about and that you believe in. And if you find a job that you're passionate about and you believe in, you'll work more than 40 hours a week because you're passionate about it. And if you work more than 40 hours a week, you'll be most likely financially like compensated for the extra hours, and everything will be much better.
1,000,000% agree. All right, so I think we both agree on this. Books in college, just in general. We moved the table of contents to the back and we swapped 2 chapters. And you can't use the other one because, that's what we told the professors to tell you. And I'm pretty positive we feel the same on that. I just think the books are the biggest scam in
Right.
college.
So to give anyone a background, if you don't already know, on top of the exorbitant tuition that you pay, you also have to buy a book for every class usually. And the book can even be an online book, and it could be hundreds of dollars when it's just like a PDF or something like that. They charge you like hundreds of dollars for these books. And every year, the authors of these books come out with a new edition. So you're using like the 8th edition of like your statistics books, when the 7th edition was the exact same thing, but the 8th edition is now the new standard. So they set a standard on a new edition every single year. This is something very common in college, and it wastes hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And the only difference between each edition is maybe, like you said, swapping the table of contents from the beginning to the end, or switching a few paragraphs here and there. I actually was in a statistics class, and it required the 5th edition. I used the 4th edition, the exact same thing.
No information's new in the first place.
It's lame. The reason why is just because they don't want people that have taken the class to resell their 4th edition books
exactly right.
for a fair price, right? But it just, when you really boil it down to what it is a book. Okay? Go to Barnes & Noble. Go to a bookstore. How much does a book cost?
These days, $10 for 10.
$10 for 10.
And I don't know if that's true.
Well, it's probably like $10, $15 for one, right? But why do you need to buy a book for $300? $300. Like that's like, if you're working minimum wage, federal minimum wage, that's like literally an entire week's paycheck on a book. That should be 1 hour.
That you can't resell because they're going to change it next year. So my next question is, I want to hear your opinion definitely on this one. Do you agree with Elon Musk that college is an experience, and it's for college is for fun, but it's also an experience and not just something that makes you successful?
I would agree that it is an experience.
Sure.
But for some people, right? Like, not everyone goes to college for the experience. You're paying a premium that everyone has to pay, and maybe only some people are going to actually take advantage of like the social aspect of college, right? Like when I went to college, like I honestly, like I didn't go out. Like I didn't really go to parties or anything. I'm a pretty like tame guy. And I wouldn't like go out and drink and stuff like that. I would kind of I didn't really pay for an experience. The extent of the experience that I paid for was to find like 3 new friends to play spike ball with. That's literally it, right? Was that worth the $30,000? No. To be frank, no, it was not. I would agree. It is most definitely an experience. You are paying a premium for experience.
For sure. And also, when I was 18 years old, selling cars, going to college, I was not interested in any of that stuff. I was interested in getting a diploma and getting out of there. That's all I wanted to do, because I would literally miss class. I remember I had an A in my chemistry class, and the teacher told me, and I quote, I'm going to fail you with a WN because you haven't made enough classes to teach you a lesson. And I'm like, what lesson? That, I get unrewarded because I have a job, and that's not what she was thinking. So.
It's a very I don't want to say traditional, but old school. The way that like the whole system is run right now, including like corporate jobs. It's interesting because you brought up Elon Musk, and I remember Elon Musk, he like made a tweet or something. He said like that he doesn't care about college degrees at all. And I think that is totally a step in the right direction. If anything, I feel like if you can find a job that you love that can sustain yourself like financially and stuff like that without having a college degree, I think that's amazing. And I think that does like show a lot about your character, your drive, and your ability to be resourceful, So I totally agree with his stance on that. And it was interesting because Graham and I are actually in the process of hiring someone right now. And this has nothing to do with like me being like prideful of like dropping out. If anything, I don't have very much pride I dropped out, to be honest.
Neither do I.
Yeah, but like we're not looking for someone that has a college degree. If they have a college degree, that's fine. If they don't, that's fine. It literally has no effect on our decision.
It looks good on paper, but that's just something that
it doesn't matter to us. But corporate world, for some reason, like they really cling on to the fact that having a college degree is like a super important thing. And I think that's like the more old school point of view that I hope that we're phasing out of. And as you get more people like Elon Musk and stuff like that realizing, and same like Graham and I, we realize it's not the most important thing. I think that's definitely a good thing, and businesses will be way more successful not having to worry about the whole college degree thing.
For sure. Yeah, and so like when I hire somebody at the dealership, I hire off of character and not credentials. The college degree does look good. I mean, you did spend 4 years of your life dedicating yourself to something, which is helpful. But as far as, me hiring you because you have it, not a chance. I hire people because they have a personality, they're good at talking with people, and they seem like they're going to be a coachable and quality prospect.
That's the most important thing, honestly. Being coachable, like being able to learn, because...
And willing.
As soon as you like enter a workforce, it's like you study... And look, I don't know anything about engineering, but in order to be an engineer, you study like crazy physics, crazy calculus and stuff like that. I don't know how much of that you actually use on the job as an engineer. You just need to be able to be teachable. Like you need to be able to learn on the job. Like you barely ever use the stuff that you actually learned in college on like the workforce. You just need to be coachable.
1,000,000% agree.
Colleges are like NFTs. That's what I have to say.
I just found out what an NFT was the other day. So thank you, sir, for being here on the channel once again. Always an absolute pleasure. And I think you like being on the channel a little bit. It's fun, right?
It's fun, yeah.
It makes me feel good because I try not to bother him. I'm like, hey, I got this idea. He's like, deal.
Let's do it.
Are you sure? He's like, deal. Do I have to say deal how many times, Graham? Like, I just want to make sure I'm not bothering you. So please power up that like button, hit that subscribe button, and notification bell. Also, please comment anything you liked of this video. Especially last time the comments were so positive. They really enjoyed I can't even talk. Really enjoyed seeing you here on the channel. They were
so nice.
So nice. So very nice.
Yeah.
I don't think that video got a single dislike. I don't know if that's true anymore. Might have got that one person that's just like,
wow,
meh. But literally, it took at least 2 weeks to get one, if we got one.
Jeez.
I'm gonna go back and check that. So also, please comment if you'd like to see in future videos, and also remember that me and Jack 100% believe in you, whether you're in college, out of college, whatever the situation. We 100% believe in you. We know that you can do anything you set your mind to, and never let anyone tell you differently. We hope you have a fantastic afternoon, and me and Jack will see you when we're climbing the hill on the next one.